that he's not saying that what Epstein did is a hoax. It's a terrible, unspeakable evil. He believes that himself. When he first heard the rumor, he kicked him out of Mar-a-Lago. He was an FBI informant to try to take this stuff down. The president knows and has great sympathy for the women who have suffered these unspeakable harms. It's detestable to him. He and I have spoken about this as recently as 24 hours ago.
So there's the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, unveiling a new Epstein defense for Donald Trump, one that we haven't heard of yet, which is that Donald Trump was actually in on it the whole time. Yeah, he was actually an FBI informant who was only hanging around with these very shady characters because, he was going to help bring them to justice. And again, I'm not sure if Mike Johnson is just used to having a MAGA base which will believe literally anything Donald Trump says, and he thinks this is just going to work, but it's not going to fly with the American people. And it's especially not going to fly with the American people when he's contradicting the president himself, who is saying this whole thing's a Democrat hoax and there's nothing to see here, while the Speaker of the House, who's a top Trump sycophant, is saying, no, he's actually an FBI informant. Sure, guys.
Well, a hoax is a corruption scandal or a crime that Donald Trump doesn't want anybody talking about anymore. It couldn't be any clearer. And I'm glad that the victims were indignant and outraged about that slur on their experience and their advocacy today. There's nothing hoax-like about this. And if it's a Democrat hoax, as he claims, he started it, because he was the one who was saying, let's go ahead and release all the files. And then after he had 1,000 FBI agents working around the clock to discover what was actually in there, that's when he decided, oh no, nothing to see here. Everybody just go home and forget about it. The public is not going to let this go. And those files have got to be released. The real question is to what extent they've already redacted or damaged information in there. But we don't need these retread files that they've been sending over the last several weeks. We need the files they're not sending. Those are the ones that we have to demand.
Yeah, and despite the fact that every Democrat plus at least a handful of Republicans are fighting to get these files released, I just doubt it's going to happen. Because Donald Trump is almost certainly directly implicated, but also because he's got more important things on his mind right now. For instance, the opening of the Rose Garden Club. Yes, the White House Rose Garden, which you pay for with your tax dollars, by the way, has now been turned into a Mar-a-Lago-style social club. And again, even putting aside the nakedness of this corruption, the nakedness of him paving over a garden and grass and turning it into a concrete parking lot, paving over the fact that he literally paved this thing over to turn it into a Panera Bread patio. This is peak Louis XIV let them eat cake. Prices are up, housing is up, healthcare costs out of control. All these things that Donald Trump said that he would come into office and fix. And he's done absolutely nothing, or in many cases, he's made things worse. He's made inflation dramatically worse with his tariffs. But hey, at least the president knows how to throw a party.
Those people were here. You're the first ones on this great place. We call it the Rose Garden Club. And it's a club for senators, for congresspeople, and for people in Washington, and frankly, people that can bring peace and success to our country. And you're invited as congressmen. Mostly we have congressmen and senators tonight. Again, you know why you're first? Because it rained last night. I had the high-tech guys we're going to hear, and they didn't want to have rain on top of their beautiful heads.
Yeah. He's giving this whole big speech to all these senators and members of Congress who he invited over. And, they're the first ones who get to see the new patio because the tech guys, Mark Zuckerberg and the other billionaires who came to kiss the ring yesterday, just had dinner indoors with him. But again, this is what it's really all about for Donald Trump. It's really about access. It's about, massaging the backs of the people who massage yours. Whether it's billionaires or Republicans in Congress who long ago decided to leave their spines at home and just become Donald Trump's foot soldiers. And all they have to do in order to enjoy their space a little bit closer to power is listen to this deranged, senile old man talk about grass.
We're going to fix the roads. We're going to fix the medians. We're going to clean up the place. We're going to put new grass in all the parks. You don't know this. Grass has a life. Do you know that, Mike? Grass has a life like we have a life. It's so long. Guess what? It expired about 40 years ago in these parks. There's no grass on half of them. We're going to regrass them with the best guys in the country. We're going to grass them by people that do Augusta in Georgia, people that do the great golf courses of the world. We're going to have the most beautiful parks. We're going to fix the curbs. I noticed some of your curbs are broken. You know why? They're hitting them with a hammer so they can pick it up and throw it at the police. But not anymore. They're not. Not anymore. So
Grass has a life, guys. Grass has a life. I mean, that's what everybody says. It has a beautiful life. Grass has a life like we have a life. And apparently almost $1 bajillion are also going to get invested in this country thanks to Donald Trump.
Happy about that, but I'm really happy when you see almost $17 trillion will be invested in this country over the next few months, actually. We started from the...
Yeah, $17 trillion are coming into the United States because of him, which, again, that's literally half the GDP of the United States coming in over the next few months. So, yeah, no, that's not happening. You have to be a literal moron who doesn't understand numbers to believe that. But it makes sense that the numbers don't make sense, because as you might remember, he had in Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, these other tech titans that he apparently is getting so much great investment from. Just yesterday at a dinner in the White House, and we even had Mark Zuckerberg, who, along with the rest of that billionaire class, graciously was heaping praise onto him, onto their God Emperor, but he got caught in a hot mic admitting that he was literally just making up numbers on the fly and would probably throw out whatever number Donald Trump asked him to.
How much are you spending, would you say, over the next few years?
Oh, gosh. I think it's probably going to be something like, I don't know, at least $600 billion through 28 in the U.S. Yeah.
It's a lot.
No, it's significant.
That's a lot. Thank you, Mark. It's great to have you.
Paying attention, but sorry, I wasn't ready to do a bid for announcement. He said I wasn't sure what number you wanted to go with.
Yeah, Donnie, sorry, bro. I didn't know what number we were going to go with. 600 billion, 800 trillion. I mean, whatever makes you happy, sir. Because all these guys are eating good. Yeah, they have to, tuck their dignity a little bit and go to the White House, do this whole show to make sure, the wheels stay greased.
Very grateful for your administration support.
We look forward to working together, and thanks for your leadership.
We're so grateful for that support.
Thank you for incredible leadership.
It's incredible to be among everyone here, particularly you and the First Lady. I also want to thank you for helping American companies around the world.
Thank you for being such a pro-business, pro-innovation president.
But at the end of the day, there's no threat to their business as long as they stay on Donald Trump's good side. But what about you? What about everybody else? Well, apparently, if you're just a normal American, if you work for a living, you're going to have to wait till about 2027 to see the economic gains that Donald Trump promised you.
Well, I heard, and we were on a very downward path with Biden, and I heard that the most we could do is 1% GDP, and now I'm hearing 3.2% and 3.5% and all. And our big year won't be really next year. I think it'll be the year after, because when these plants start opening up, it takes a period of time to build them.
Yep, 2027 now. Yesterday it was 2026. But the goalposts just keep moving. As we all remember, who could forget on the campaign trail where Donald Trump was going around saying, everybody, I'm going to fix this economy by my 3rd year in office. Oh, wait, that never happened. He was like, on day 1, everything's going to be great. On day 1, your grocery prices are going to go down. But we just have amnesia about that. What a joke. And it is literally feels more likely that we are going to get the Epstein files before we get a working economy at this point. Hell, Trump himself, who is directly implicated in the Epstein scandal, would rather talk about that than talk about his economy, because that's how bad it's going for him right now.
I want to talk about the economy. How bad is the economy? So bad that Donald Trump is now trying to distract from the economy and the jobs numbers that he got this morning by talking about Jeffrey Epstein. Donald Trump posted at 9:56 a.m. after no doubt watching 90 minutes of coverage of the abysmal jobs report that the Epstein investigation, quote, is merely another Democrat hoax, just like Russia, Russia, Russia. The Department of Justice has done its job. They've given everything requested of them. It's time to end the Democrat Epstein hoax and give the Republicans credit for the great, even legendary job that they are doing, end quote. Wow. Donald Trump does everything possible not to talk about Epstein, but he needed you not to talk about the jobs numbers this morning. Here's the result of the great, even legendary job that Trump and his rubber stamp Republicans are doing with the American economy. It created negative jobs. Now, this almost never happens without a recession. The last time it happened was under Trump during the height of the pandemic in December of 2020. The jobs report today revised the June jobs number. Normally it's September, so we get the August numbers, but it revised some prior numbers. They revised the June jobs number to negative. Last month, the economy created an anemic 22,000 jobs. That's about a third of what economists had expected. The Wall Street Journal put it, quote, U.S. job growth continued to slow down in August with just 22,000 new jobs, a sign that the labor market is deteriorating markedly. Friday's job report adds to a summer of slow hiring and points to a stagnant job market that has lengthened job searches, shut young people out of employment, and increased unemployment for black workers. The Labor Department's report also highlighted weaknesses from earlier in the year. The government revised its numbers from previous months and said that the economy lost a net 13,000 jobs in June. That was the first such decline since December of 2020. The losses in August were widespread, with the report showing drops in employment across sectors, including manufacturing, finance, unemployment, Unemployment rose from 4.2% to 4.3%. Now, I just want to be clear. This is kind of the worst position that an economy can be in.
We're very much cooked, guys. We're very much cooked. The economy is cooked. This administration is cooked. Donald Trump's brain is cooked. But you know what? Speaking of cooking, at least there's new steaks being cooked at the new White House Rose Garden Club. Too bad it's a club that you'll never be a part of. But hey, at least you get to pay for the steaks.